Humberto Science. Today we're going to be covering pages 377 to 384. And before we get started, I went ahead and included a worksheet quiz for chapter 16 that I'd like for you to complete, okay, today after we get through with these pages, and then you're going to see some more pages or quizzes coming up throughout the week. So let's go ahead and get started. Also tomorrow I hope to have at least an hour session on Blackboard Collaborate with you all. So it'll probably be between 9:30 to 10:30 that will be on there. Like to have you, as many of you as possible, log on so that we can have if you have any questions, any comments, and get done with as much as the lesson as we can. We will also have recorded lessons on the screen audio also. Okay, so. On exercise 11 on page 377, read the passage and then complete the sentences. Now, cultural misunderstandings. If you come from a different country other than in the United States, sometimes you might have what we call a cultural misunderstanding. What is acceptable in one culture might not be acceptable in another culture, or we don't understand the concept of that. Okay? So, for example, in some cultures, when you're speaking to someone, some cultures, the person who is speaking bows down, okay, does not make eye contact. And that's a form of respect. While in the Western culture, it is eye contact is important, because that means that eye contact, you are communicating honestly and openly with the person. So that might be an example of cultural misunderstanding. Okay. Another one is the OK sign, where you take your index finger and your thumb and you make a circle and you go OK. How are you? And you go OK. Well, in some cultures, most cultures, that is apparently OK. That's fine, However, in a couple of countries, that might be an obscene gesture. So you have to be careful, okay? So let's look at this reading. Since Marco and Anya came to this country, they've had some memorable misunderstandings due to language and culture. The first time Marco met someone at a party, he was asked, "How's it going?" Marco thought that the person was asking him about leaving, and that seemed very strange. Once, Anya walked into class and a native speaker said, "Hi, how are you?" When Anya started to give a long answer, the speaker looked at her rather oddly. This happened several times until Anya learned that she was just to say something like, "Okay," or "Fine, thanks, and you?" Another time, Marco was at a restaurant and he wanted to get the server's attention. He snapped his fingers. The server was not pleased. Since coming here, Marco and Anya have learned that cultural misunderstandings are a normal part of learning another language. They can be valuable and even entertaining learning experiences. Marco and Anya just smile at these misunderstandings now. Okay? So if we look at number 1. The first time Marco was asked, "How's it going?" what did he think? Marco thought that the person was asking him about leaving. Okay? So he thought the person was asking him about leaving. The second one. At first, every time someone asked Anya how she was, she would give a long answer. Number 3. The next time Marco wants to get the server's attention at a restaurant, he won't snap his fingers. Number 4. Since Marco and Anya have come to this country, they have learned that cultural misunderstandings are a normal part of learning another language. And now, whenever they have a cultural misunderstanding, they just smile at this misunderstandings now. So they just smile, oh yeah, remember that? Now, let's look at exercise 12. Which adverb clauses give the idea of because? Okay? And remember that because introduces an adverb clause. Okay? And it gives you a cause and effect. Okay? So, if we look at numbers 1, number 2, and number 3, read each sentence and then circle the number or numbers that the adverb clause gives the idea of because. So here we look at number 1. Now that I've finished art school, I can focus on finding work as an illustrator. Number 2, since I was young, I have been artistic. And number 3, since I've had formal training, maybe I can illustrate books. So here, the adverb clauses that give the idea of because are number 1 and number 3. Okay? And this we're going to see on chart 17.3. See, for here, for example, you can say, because I have finished art school, I can focus on finding work as an illustrator. And number 3, because I've had formal training, maybe I can illustrate books. See, but not number 1. Because I was young, I have been artistic? No. So only number 1 and number 3. So we look at the next page, 378. If we look at the chart, here, ladies and gentlemen, using adverb clauses to show a cause and effect. Okay? So the first one, because, with A and B. Because he was sleepy, comma, he went to bed. And B, he went to bed because he was sleepy. You notice that if the adverb clause follows the main or independent clause, no comma is necessary. But if it comes before the main or independent clause, we use a comma. An adverb clause may precede or follow the independent clause. Notice the punctuation in A and B. In A, there is a comma because the adverb clause is first. In B, there is no comma because the adverb clause follows the independent clause. Be sure to identify the correct cause and effect. Incorrect, because he went to bed, comma, he was sleepy. This is not the right cause. This is the effect. This is the cause. So we look at example C and D. In example C, now that I've finished the semester, I'm going to rest a few days and then take a trip. Jack lost his job. Period. Now that he's unemployed, comma, he can't pay his bills. Now that means because now. In C, now that I've finished the semester means because the semester is now over. Okay? No, now that is used with the present, present perfect, or future tenses. So here you have, now that I've finished, this is a present perfect, okay? The semester, I'm going to rest a few days and then take a trip, okay? And you can also use it in the present. Now that he is unemployed, he can't pay his bills, okay? Letters E and F with since. Since Monday is a holiday, we don't have to go to work. And since also means because. Since you're a good cook and I'm not, you should cook the dinner. So when since is used to mean because, it expresses a known cause. It means because it is a fact, or given that it is true that. Cause and effect sentences with since say, given the fact that X is true, Y is the result. In E, given the fact that Monday is a holiday, we don't have to go to work. And again, it's very important, just like it said in with now that, it's important to find the correct cause and the correct effect. Okay? Now that and since will go with the cause. And then the independent clause will be the effect or result. Letter G. Since I came here, I have met many people. Since has two meanings. One is because, used as in an adverb clause of cause and effect, and it is also used in time clauses, as in letter G, for adverb clauses too, but in time clauses, okay? So this does not mean because, okay? This means since the time that I arrived here, I have met many people, okay? This one and this one and this one are adverb clauses, but these are for E and F are for cause and effect, and letter G is for a time clause, okay? Now, combine each pair of sentences with the words in parentheses. Add commas as necessary. If we look at number 1, ladies and gentlemen, it says, we have a lot of frequent flyer miles. We can visit several countries. Using now that. Now that we have a lot of frequent flyer miles, comma, we can visit several countries. Let's do number 2. Now remember, it's important to you select the right cause followed by the result or the effect, okay? We can compare hotel prices. They are posted online. Since. Okay? So here you will say we can compare hotel prices since lowercase t, no period, lowercase t, they are posted online, no comma either. Again, we can compare hotel prices, no period, no capital T, since they are posted online. You can also say it this way. Since hotel prices are posted online, comma, lowercase w, we can compare hotel prices, or we can compare them. Okay? Because we're using hotel prices here instead of they, and this would be an object pronoun. We would not say they, we could say them. So again, we can compare hotel prices since they are posted online, no comma, no period, or since hotel prices are posted online, comma, lowercase w, we can compare them. Let's look at number 3. We have read the online hotel reviews. We can choose our hotel. Now that. Okay? So here, this is going to be the effect right here. So you're going to say, now that, lowercase w, we have read the online hotel reviews, comma, lowercase w, we can choose our hotel. Again, now that, lowercase w, we have read the online hotel reviews, comma, lowercase w, we can choose our hotel, period. Now go ahead and do number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6 using because, since, and because. Okay, remember to choose the right cause. I apologize for the barking dogs. My neighbors have 2 big dogs, and every time someone passes walking by in front of the house, they start barking. Okay, let's look at number 4. There is little chance we will get lost. We have GPS on our phones. So here, the right cause is right here. Okay? So you're going to say, there is little chance we will get lost. No period, no comma. Lowercase w. Because we have GPS on our phones. Or you could do it this way. Because we have GPS on our phones, comma, lowercase t, there is little chance we will get lost. Number 5. People post online reviews instantly. Customer service has improved since. Okay? So you start with, this is your cause right here. Since people post online reviews instantly, comma, lowercase c, customer service has improved. Okay, again. Since, lowercase p, people post online reviews instantly, comma, lowercase c, customer service has improved. Period. And number 6. We won't get so homesick. We can video chat with our families. Because. So you start with, we won't get so homesick, no period, no comma, lowercase w, because we can video chat with our families. Or, because we can video chat with our families, comma, lowercase w, we won't get so homesick, period. Okay? Let's look at exercise 14. On exercise 14, it says, check the sentences that can be rewritten with now that, and then rewrite them. This is my grandmother. Okay? Because my grandfather has died, my mom would like my grandmother to move in with us. So you can substitute because with now that. Now that my grandfather has died, comma, my mom would like my grandmother to move in with us. So there's a check mark. Look at number 2. Because my grandmother lives alone, I visit her more often. What do you think? Can I use now that instead of because? Yes. So put a check mark, cross out because, and here, right, now that my grandmother lives alone, comma, I visit her more often. Look at number 3, number 4, and number 5 and go ahead and do those. All right. So if we look at number 3, because my grandmother was a nurse, she took good care of her health. Okay? So this one, it doesn't have a cause and an effect. Okay? So this one, you can't change it. Number 4, because my grandparents save for their retirement, she doesn't need to worry about finances. Again, this doesn't have cause and effect. Okay? So no change. Number 5. Because she is 90, I have asked her a few times if she should continue driving. So here you would cross out because, put a check mark. Now that she is 90, comma, I have asked her a few times if she should continue driving. So the changes are going to be for number 2 and number 5 only. Now we look at page 379. Which sentence expresses an unexpected result? Because I was very tired, I went to bed early. And even though I was very tired, I stayed up late. Okay, which one do you think is giving the unexpected result? Number 1 or number 2? Okay, so obviously it's going to be number 2, because even though I was very tired, I stayed up late. If you're very tired, you don't usually stay up late. That gives you the unexpected result. And this is what we're going to be looking at right here on chart 17.4. Expressing contrast, unexpected result using even though. So that's one thing we have to remember. Even though gives us unexpected result. Okay? And because gives us expected result. Okay? So you might say, because Wang Ju studied for the midterm exam, she did very well. Okay? Or you might say, even though Susie studied for the midterm exam, she didn't do well. Because if Susie studied, she expected to get a good grade. That's unexpected. She didn't do well. Okay? So, if we look at examples A, B, C, and D. Because the weather was cold, I didn't go swimming. Because is used to express expected results. Letter B. Even though the weather was cold, comma, I went swimming. Even though is used to express unexpected results. Because I wasn't tired, I didn't go to bed. Even though I wasn't tired, I went to bed. No, like because, even though introduces an adverb clause. Okay? So, if you say something like, even though Ricardo followed the recipe to make pancakes, they didn't come out the way he wanted them. And you could say, because Itzel used her mother's recipe to make pancakes, they came out delicious. Although and though have basically the same meaning as even though. And we're going to see this later on in chapter 19. For information, the use of although and though, okay? So remember, because expected result, even though unexpected. Choose a correct completion for each sentence. Okay? Because it was a dark, cloudy day, I didn't put on my sunglasses. That's expected. You don't need sunglasses on a dark, cloudy day. Number 2, even though it was a dark, cloudy day, what do you think? I put on my sunglasses. I didn't put on my sunglasses. This is going to be letter A. I put on my sunglasses. Because that's unexpected to wear sunglasses on a dark, cloudy day. However, you might see some people wear sunglasses even at night. Like some musicians like to wear dark sunglasses when they're playing on stage and it's in the evening. Okay? Bono is one of the artists that wears sunglasses all the time. Number 3, even though Mira was cold, what do you think? She wore a heavy coat outside or she wore a light sweater outside? So here, if you're cold, you wear a heavy coat. But even though unexpected Mira was cold, letter B, she wore a light sweater outside. Like, it doesn't make sense. Mira, you're cold. Why did you wear a light sweater? Number 4, because Mira enjoys the outdoors, she goes for walks, rain or shine. So this is expected because she likes the outdoors. She goes for a walk, whether it's raining or the sun is shining. So letter A. Exercise 17. This goes all the way to number 5. Okay? On page 380. Complete the sentences with even though if it's unexpected or because if it's expected. Tim's in good shape physically, even though he doesn't get much exercise. Or Barry's in good shape physically because he gets a lot of exercise. See, that's expected. So look at number 2. Blank, Yoko has a job. She is able to pay her rent and feed her family. So here, because. Okay? She has a job. She's able to pay her rent and she feeds her family. Look at B. Blank, Melissa has a job. She doesn't make enough money to support her 4 children. So here, there would be even though. You expect someone who has a job to make enough money to support a family. However, there are some jobs that pay such a low wage that they're not able to. So here, it's unexpected. Even though she has a job, she doesn't make enough money to support her family. Go ahead and do number 3, 4, and 5, A and B, please. We'll check in a minute. Okay, let's look at number 3. Joe speaks Spanish well, blank, he lived in Mexico for a year. So, Joe speaks Spanish well because he lived in Mexico for a year. B. Sherry didn't learn Spanish, blank, she lived in Mexico for a year. So that's unexpected. Sherry didn't learn Spanish even though she lived in Mexico for a year. Number 4. Jin jumped into the river to rescue a little girl who was drowning, blank, he wasn't a good swimmer. Now, if you're not a good swimmer, are you going to jump into the river? Usually, no. That's unexpected. So here, Jin jumped into the river to rescue a little girl who was drowning, even though he wasn't a good swimmer. Look at B. blank, she was rescued right away, the girl survived. So here you say, because she was rescued right away, the girl survived. That's expected. Number 5. Number 5, we have 2 answers for A and 1 for B. Blank, the flood washed away the bridge. The campers were able to cross the river. Let's do this part first. So here, even though the flood washed away the bridge. See, here's the river. There used to be a bridge that you could go from one side to the other, kind of like the Bridge of the Americas or the Lerdo Bridge or the Zaragoza Bridge. But here, there was a big flood and it washed away, meaning it destroyed the bridge. So even though the flood washed away the bridge, the campers were able to cross the river. That's unexpected. They were able to cross the river, so that's why we say even though. And then because they had a boat. So that's the reason, because they had a boat. Letter B. Blank, the bridge was out of service for several months. People had to find alternate ways to get across the river. So here, you're going to say, because the bridge was out of service for several months, that's expected. People had to find alternate ways to get across the river. See, so it's expected for you to find alternate ways to get across the river. Okay? So in exercise 18, work in pairs, in small groups or as a class. And we're only going to do a couple of these, just so that you get the gist of it. Speaker A asks the question, Speaker B answers the question, beginning with yes, no, and followed by even though. Small talk. Small talk is when you make small conversation. Hey, how are you? I'm well. How are you? I'm good. That's it. Small talk. Okay? Don't be like Anya and give long, detailed answers, okay? Remember, in cultural misunderstandings, just say, small talk. Just pleasant, short conversations. So look at A. It was raining. Did you go to the zoo anyway? Yes. Even though it was raining, I went to the zoo. So you say, yes, even though it was raining, I went to the zoo. So that's unexpected that it was raining and you went to the zoo. So you start with yes. Look at the next one. You studied hard. Did you pass the test? No. Even though I studied hard, I didn't pass the test. See, that's unexpected. If you study hard, you expect to pass the test. So you go with no. So, number 1. You stayed up all night. Did you go to work? Yes. Even though I stayed up all night, I went to work. Your sister has a new baby. Have you met her yet? No. Even though my sister has a new baby, I have not met her yet. Number 3. The food was terrible. Did you eat it anyway? Unexpected? Yes. Even though the food was terrible, comma, I ate it anyway. Number 4. You didn't study. Did you pass the test anyway? Yes. Even though I didn't study, comma, I passed the test. Okay? So here, see, so you get the gist, you give the unexpected answer with even though, but some of them will be yes, some will be no. Okay? Now, you can practice the rest with numbers 5 through 16. We're using even though. Let's go to exercise 19. Check the sentences that show contrast. Example, show that X is the opposite of Y. So we look at number 1. I am a vegetarian while my husband is a meat eater. Does that show direct contrast? Yes, because one person is a vegetarian, the other is a meat eater. That's a direct contrast. Number 2. While I was buying vegetables, I remembered that we had leftovers in the fridge. Fridge is short for refrigerator, but this is very commonly used. It's very informal, okay? So, does that show direct contrast? No, because you remembered that you had leftovers in the refrigerator. Okay, so that does not show contrast, direct contrast. Number 3, while many vegetarians eat eggs, I don't because they come from chickens. Yes, that shows direct contrast that many vegetarians eat eggs, you don't. Okay? So we go to chart 17.5, showing direct contrast using while. Now, one of the things that I want you to notice here is the punctuation. If you look at here, these adverb clauses come after the independent clause, but there's still a comma. John is rich while Mary is rich, comma, while John is poor. John is poor, comma, while Mary is rich. While John is poor, comma, Mary is rich. While Mary is rich, comma, John is poor. While is used to show direct contrast. This is exactly the opposite of that. So Mary, because she has a lot of money, is the opposite of John, who has no money. Examples A, B, C, and D all have the same meaning. Note the use of the comma in A and B. In using while for direct contrast, a comma is often used even if the while clause comes second, unlike the punctuation in most other adverb clauses. Reminder. Okay, and this is for E. The phone rang while I was studying. This is an adverb clause of time, okay? But reminder, while is also used in time clauses and means during that time, as in E. See chart 17.2. Okay. Here's a footnote at the bottom of chart 17.5. Whereas can have the same meaning and use as while, but it occurs mostly in formal written English and occurs with considerably less frequency than while. Mary is rich, comma, whereas John is poor. Okay, it's more formal. Use it if you like to. It's the same as while, but you give a better impression of yourself when you use whereas, especially in making direct contrast. Now you would not use whereas for a time clause. The phone rang whereas I was studying. No, that's incorrect. Only to show direct contrast. Look at exercise 20, ladies and gentlemen. Choose the best completion for each sentence. Some people are tall, comma, while others are short. Tall, short, direct contrast. Look at number 2. A box is square, while, what do you think? What shows direct contrast from a square box? Letter D. A circle is round. See, you're comparing direct contrast, square and a circle. Number 3. While some parts of the world get an abundance of rain, others blank. So some parts of the world get a lot of rain, others. Letter C. Get little or none. Number 4. In some nations, the favorite beverage is coffee, while blank. So you're comparing that. In some countries, their favorite drink is coffee, while what do you think? Okay, and in this one it's letter C. In others it is T. Thank you. Next one, number 5. Some people like cream and sugar in their coffee, while others like it black. No cream, no sugar. Letter A. Okay. And number 6. Steve is an interesting storyteller and conversationalist, while his brother, where's the direct contrast between Steve and his brother? Letter B. Bores other people by talking about himself all the time. See, because Steve he's an interesting storyteller and conversationalist. His brother is boring. He's always talking about himself all the time. Okay. We're going to skip exercise 21 and let's go on to exercise 22 on page 382. Okay. On page 382, it says, check the sentence with if that is grammatically correct. There's only one sentence that's grammatically correct. 1, 2, or 3. If I will need help, I will ask you. If I need help, I will ask you. If I will need help, I ask you. Which one do you think is grammatically correct? So, the correct answer is number 2. If I need help, comma, I will ask you. So this is we're going to be using if clauses, okay? In if clauses with adverb clauses, okay? So, look at example A on chart 17.6. If it rains tomorrow, comma, I will take my umbrella. If clauses, also called adverb clauses of condition, present possible conditions. The main clause expresses the results. So this is the result. This is the condition. This is the result. In A, the possible condition, it may rain tomorrow. The result, I will take my umbrella. A present tense, not a future tense, is used in an if clause, even though the verb in the if clause may refer to a future event or situation, as in A. If it rains tomorrow, see, here you're using the verb in the present tense, even though we're talking about tomorrow, a future event. But that's only with if clauses, okay? So words that introduce adverb clauses of condition, if clauses. If, whether or not, even if, in case, unless, and only if. So, if we look at exercise 23, make sentences with if using the given conditions. Example, it may be cold tomorrow. So you say, if it's cold tomorrow, I'm going to stay home. Or we can't go on a picnic if it's cold tomorrow. Okay? So here, number 1, I will stay up all night. So you say, if I stay, no, okay, I will stay up all night if I don't have to work tomorrow. Okay, or If I don't have to work tomorrow, comma, I will stay up all night. Both. I may be sick tomorrow. Okay? So here you say, okay, if I don't wash my hands, comma, I may be sick tomorrow. Or I may be sick tomorrow if I don't wash my hands. Number 3. Maybe I will wake up tomorrow and speak English fluently. Okay? So you say, if I go to sleep listening to an English tape, comma, lowercase m, maybe I will wake up tomorrow and speak English fluently. Or, maybe I will wake up tomorrow and speak English fluently, no period, no comma, if I go to bed listening to an English tape. Number 4. The power may be out for 24 hours. Okay? So you say, the power may be out for 24 hours if the electric company doesn't fix the problem. Or, if the power company doesn't fix the problem, comma, the power may be out for 24 hours. Number 5, the government might put a 20% tax on snack food. Okay? So you might say, if many people continue to eat unhealthy food, comma, lowercase t, the government might put a 20% tax on snack food. Or, the government might put a 20% tax on snack food, no period, if many people continue to eat unhealthy food. Okay. We're now going to do exercise 24. Let's go on to page 383. Check the sentences that logically follow the question and are grammatically correct. Do you have your cell phone with you? Number 1. If you do, could I use it? That means yes. Check mark. Number 2. Do you have your cell phone with you? If so, could I use it? Yes. Check mark. Number 3. Do you have your cell phone with you? If not, I can use someone else's. Yes. Check mark. Number 4. Do you have your cell phone with you? If you don't, I can use someone else's. Yes. Number 5. Do you have your cell phone with you? If you are, could I use it? No. Only number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are correct using if clauses. Okay? They logically follow the question. Okay, do you have your cell phone with you? So we say, well, what are shortened if clauses? Well, shortened if clauses have the same meaning as a long if clause, but you don't use all the words. Okay? So, look at example A. Are you a student? If so, the ticket is half price. Or, if you are, the ticket is half price. You notice here, we're using are in the question, so we can use are in the if clause. Are you a student? If not, negative, the ticket is full price. Or if you aren't, the ticket is full price. When an if clause refers to the idea of the sentence immediately before it, it is sometimes shortened. In A, if so means, or if you are, both of these, if so or if you are means, if you are a student, the ticket is half price. in the negative. If not, if you aren't, means if you aren't a student, the ticket is full price. And that's what they mean by shortened if clauses. You don't put everything, all the information in the if clause. Look at B. It's a popular concert. Do you have a ticket? If so, you're lucky. Or if you do, you're lucky. Notice here we have do, so we're going to use do in the if clause. It's a popular concert. Do you have a ticket? If not, you're out of luck. If you don't, you're out of luck. In B, if so or if you do means if you have a ticket, you're lucky. And if not, if you don't means if you don't have a ticket, you're out of luck. Okay? So, let's look at exercise 26. On exercise 26, we have numbers 1 through 6. 6 goes to the other page. Okay? So, first complete the sentences in two ways. For all the letter A's, you're going to use so if it's affirmative or not if it's negative. And then for all the letter B's, you're going to use a helping verb or main verb be. If the main verb be is in the question, you're going to use be for all the letter B's. And if even it doesn't, then you're going to use the auxiliary verbs. Okay? Look at number 1. It's done for us. Does Lisa want to go out to dinner with us? So this is going to be affirmative. If so, tell her to meet us at 8 o'clock. And since we're using does, if she does, tell us to meet us at 8 o'clock. And what's the meaning? That means if Lisa wants to go out to dinner with us. Number 2, are you free this weekend? Notice the verb here, be. So, are you free this weekend? If so, do you want to go to a movie? And in B, if you are, do you want to go to a movie? And that means if you are free this weekend. That's the shortened if clauses. Do number 3, 4, 5, and 6 on page 384, please. Okay, number 3. Do you have a ride to the theater? If not, would you like to ride with us? And if you don't, would you like to ride with us? So here we're using not. And here we're using don't. We're taking the auxiliary do, changing it to negative, don't. And the meaning? Okay, if you have a ride to the theater. Okay. Number 4, are you coming to the meeting? If so, I'll see you there. If you are, I'll see you there. And the meaning for both of these is if you are coming to the meeting. Number 5. Did you use a spell check on your email to me? If so, it didn't catch all the spelling errors. If you didn't, if you did, it didn't catch all the spelling errors. So, if so, it didn't catch all the spelling errors. If you did, it didn't catch all the spelling errors. And the meaning here is if you use the spell check on your email to me. Okay? Number 6, we need some rice. Can you stop at the store on your way home today? Okay? If not, I'll do it. And if you can't, because here's the auxiliary, so make it negative. If you can't, I'll do it. And the meaning is, if you can stop at the store on your way home today. Okay. So let's look at exercise 27. Check all the sentences that are true for David. Here's the situation. If David gets married, he will be happy. If he doesn't get married, he will be happier. No, if he doesn't get married, he will be happy. So David's a happy person. If he's married or if he's not married, he's still going to be happy. So, check all the sentences that are true for David. David will be happy if he doesn't get married. Yes or no? Number 2. If he gets married, David won't be happy. Number 3. Even if David gets married, he won't be happy. Number 4. Even if David doesn't get married, he will be happy. Number 5. David will be happy whether or not he gets married. And number 6. Whether or not David gets married, he will be happy. So the sentences that are true for David are number 1, number 4, number 5, and number 6. So that's the warm-up or introduction for chart 17.8. If we look at these adverb clauses of condition, ladies and gentlemen, using whether or not and even if. Whether or not. I'm going to go swimming tomorrow, whether or not it is cold, or I'm going to go swimming tomorrow, whether it is cold or not. Remember that or not follows whether at the beginning or at the end of the sentence. Whether or not expresses the idea that neither this condition nor that condition matters. The result will be the same. In A, if it's cold, I'm going swimming. If it's not cold, I'm going swimming. I don't care about the temperature. It doesn't matter. Or you could say, I'm going to wash my car this afternoon, whether it is raining or not. Or, I'm going to wash my car this afternoon, whether or not it is raining. Letter B, even if. I have decided to go swimming tomorrow. Even if the weather is cold, I'm going to go swimming. Sentences with even if are close in meaning to those with whether or not. Even if gives the idea that a particular condition does not matter. The result will not change. Okay? So it's very close to meaning as whether or not. So look at exercise 28. Now we only have numbers 1, 2, and 3 on this page, but we're also going to do numbers 4, 5, and 6 on page 385. Okay? So choose the sentence, A or B, that has the same meaning as the given sentence. Even if I get an invitation to the reception, I'm not going to go. So here means, I don't care if I get an invitation. I'm not going. If I get an invitation, I'm not going. If I don't get an invitation, I'm not going. So it doesn't matter if I get an invitation or not. The result's not going to change. So let's look at number 2. Even if the weather improves, I won't go to the beach. A, I'm going to the beach if the weather improves. I don't care if the weather improves. I'm not going to the beach. So look at this sentence again. Even if the weather improves, I won't go to the beach. Which one has the same meaning as the given sentence? The answer is B again. I don't care if the weather improves. I'm not going to the beach. See? Here I'm not going to go. Even if the weather improves, I won't go to the beach. Okay? So it's letter B. Number 3. Whether or not you want help, I plan to be at your house at 9 o'clock. So here, I'm going to help you because I think you need help, or I'm going to help you because you want me to. The correct answer is A. I'm going to help you because I think you need help. Let's go ahead and do number 4, 5, and 6 from page 385, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4. I won't tell even if someone pays me. A. I won't tell whether or not someone gives me money. B. If someone pays me enough money, I will tell. What do you think? The correct answer is going to be A. I won't tell even if someone pays me. I won't tell whether or not someone gives me money. Letter A. Number 5. I have to go to work tomorrow, whether I feel better or not. A. Whether I go to work or not depends on how I feel. Or, I'm going to go to work tomorrow no matter how I feel. The correct answer is B. I'm going to work tomorrow no matter how I feel. Because the original sentence means I have to go to work tomorrow whether I feel better or not. So it's letter B. Look at number 6, and if you look at the picture there, look at her face. Oh my goodness. That face could stop a train that's going 120 miles an hour. But here's John, poor John, he's apologizing. Even if John apologizes, I won't forgive him. John needs to apologize for me to forgive him? Or I don't care if John apologizes, it doesn't matter. What do you think? John's telling her, honey, please, she's just a friend. I was holding her hand because she was going to fall. So the correct answer is letter B. Now, what I'd like for you to do is go ahead and start on exercise 29 for tomorrow's lesson. We'll check them in class or during the recording. Use the given information to complete sentences A and B. Look at number 1. That's already done for us. Usually people need to graduate from school to get a good job. But it's different for Ed. Maybe Ed will graduate from school and maybe he won't. It doesn't matter because he has a good job waiting for him in his father's business. Ed will get a good job whether or not he graduates. Ed will get a good job even if he doesn't graduate. Okay? So go ahead and do situations 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. And then we'll check tomorrow's recording, okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. I will talk to you soon. Be safe, stay healthy.